Have you ever noticed something strange? Walk into almost any office on a Monday morning, and you'll hear the same conversations. Did you watch the game? I can't believe they lost. Our season is over. For millions of people, the outcome of a game played hundreds of miles away can completely change their mood. But maybe you've never understood it. Maybe you've nodded politely while everyone else argued over scores, trades, and championships, wondering why none of it ever felt important. If that's you, you may have wondered whether you're missing out. Psychology suggests the opposite. You may simply be investing your attention somewhere else. And in a world where attention has become one of the most valuable assets you own, that difference matters more than most people realize. Think about someone named Ethan. He worked in a growing software company in Raleigh, North Carolina. Every lunch break, his co-workers gathered around televisions to debate games, fantasy leagues, and playoff predictions. Ethan tried to join in. He learned player names. He watched a few highlights. He even attended a professional game with friends. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't manufacture genuine interest. Instead, he found himself reading books about investing, listening to podcasts about psychology, or studying how successful businesses scaled over time. For years, he assumed something was wrong with him. Then he learned something fascinating. Psychologists have long studied what's called reward sensitivity. In simple terms, different brains are rewarded by different experiences. For some people, uncertainty, competition, and tribal loyalty produce powerful emotional rewards. Every close game creates anticipation. Every victory produces excitement. Every rivalry strengthens belonging. Their brain releases dopamine because it interprets those moments as meaningful. But not everyone's reward system works the same way. Some people receive stronger rewards from solving complex problems. Others enjoy building businesses. Some become fascinated by ideas, technology, or learning. Their excitement doesn't come from watching competition. It comes from creating something themselves. Neither is objectively better. They're simply different operating systems. Another powerful explanation comes from social identity. Human beings naturally seek belonging. Throughout history, survival often depended on being part of a tribe. Today, sports teams provide that same psychological shortcut. Supporting a team creates an immediate identity. We won. They lost. Even though the fans never stepped onto the field, the brain experiences the victory as partially its own. Researchers have shown that people often absorb the success of groups they identify with because it strengthens self-esteem. But some individuals build identity differently. Instead of attaching themselves to organizations, they attach themselves to missions. Instead of asking, "What team do I belong to?" they ask, "What am I building?" Those are very different questions. If you've ever felt disconnected from sports culture, it may simply mean your identity is rooted in progress rather than participation. There's another factor most people overlook. Attention is finite. Every hour spent following one subject is an hour unavailable for something else. This isn't an argument against sports. It's a reminder that every investment of attention carries an opportunity cost. Imagine two people with 10 free hours every week. One spends those hours studying markets, learning negotiation, improving health, or developing valuable skills. The other spends the same hours consuming entertainment. Neither choice is inherently right or wrong. But after 10 years, those thousands of hours often produce dramatically different outcomes. Personal growth isn't only about what you do. It's also about what you repeatedly choose not to do. Psychologists also study something called intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation comes from events outside yourself. Winning, recognition, Approval. Entertainment. Intrinsic motivation comes from the satisfaction of mastering a skill, solving a problem, or making progress. People who naturally lean toward intrinsic motivation often struggle to become emotionally invested in outcomes they can't influence. Watching someone else compete simply doesn't activate the same reward system. Instead, they want to compete against yesterday's version of themselves. That's one reason many entrepreneurs, investors, and lifelong learners become obsessed with improvement rather than spectatorship. They're playing a different game. There's also an overlooked personality trait involved. Studies consistently show that some individuals score higher on openness to experience. These people tend to explore unconventional interests, challenge assumptions, and pursue ideas outside mainstream culture. Because of that, they often feel comfortable ignoring trends that everyone else seems to follow. While others memorize player statistics, they might be learning artificial intelligence, behavioral economics, or communication skills. Again, this doesn't make one person smarter than another. It simply reflects different priorities. And priorities shape lives. There's another psychological pattern worth considering. Humans instinctively chase emotional highs. Sports provide them on demand. Every comeback, every upset, every championship. The emotional roller coaster becomes addictive because unpredictability activates the brain's reward circuitry. But some people intentionally avoid those emotional swings. Not because they're unemotional. Because they value stability. They'd rather experience slow satisfaction from improving their finances, strengthening relationships, or building a business than temporary excitement from outcomes they never controlled. Ironically, this ability to delay emotional gratification appears repeatedly in research on long-term success. People willing to postpone immediate rewards often make better financial decisions, develop stronger habits, and persist through difficult goals. Perhaps that's why many successful builders become surprisingly selective about where they spend their attention. Ethan eventually realized something important. He stopped pretending to enjoy conversations that never interested him. Instead, he spent that time developing skills that advanced his own life. Years later, while many coworkers were still debating championships from seasons long gone, Ethan had launched a consulting business, built a growing investment portfolio, and gained the freedom he'd been working toward all along. His advantage wasn't that he disliked sports. His advantage was understanding that attention compounds just like money. Every day, you're making investments. Not only with dollars. With focus. With energy. With curiosity. Whatever consistently captures your attention slowly becomes your future. That's true whether it's financial education, fitness, relationships, entertainment, or endless distractions. So if you've ever felt different because you couldn't get excited about what everyone else seems obsessed with, don't automatically assume something is missing. Ask a better question. What has your attention instead? Because your future will almost always reflect the answer. The most valuable resource you own isn't time. It's where your attention goes during that time. Spend it wisely, and eventually your life begins to look very different from the crowd.